It's the book of Revelations 11, verse 14. The second will pass, behold, the third will come quickly. It's the prophet Ezekiel, chapter 38, and verse 4. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy claws. I will bring thee forth and all thy armies, horse and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company buckler and shields, all of them having swords. And this is the book of Matthew 24 and verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must first come to pass, but the end is not yet. Matthew 24 verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. And this is of the prophet Isaiah. This is Isaiah 13 verse 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which they shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not light in it. Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah Hashem Mukakadash, and the Heavenly Father. The true name is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, Hashem, and name Mashiach Shah. Those are the true names in the ancient Paleo. Those are the true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the Lashma Kadash tongue. And I say Barak Adam to the elders and apostles, Akim Akwaf, and I say Shalom. And this is a sit-down lesson from the from Reuters.com, published by Guy Flock Crumbridge and Max Hunder, as of May the 28th, 2025 at 8:30 a.m. Updated 3 hours ago, and it reads: U.S. and Russia clash in public as the Ukraine war heats up. It says Moscow, Kyiv, as of May the 28th. Reuters report the United States and Russia in quarrel in public on Wednesday over the intensified Ukraine war after U.S. President Donald Trump warned that President Vladimir Putin was playing with fire, and Moscow massed 50,000 troops near the Ukrainian region. While the world leaders bicker over the prospects for peace, the deadliest conflict in Europe since World War II is heating up fast. Swarms of drones are being launched by both sides while Russia is advancing key points along the front. It says Trump in a post-truth social said that Putin was playing with fire and cautions really bad, and that really bad things would have happened already to Russia if it was not for Trump himself. It says what Vladimir Putin doesn't realize, that if he wasn't for me, a lot of really bad things would have already happened in Russia. I mean, really bad. He's playing with fire, Trump said in a Truth Social post on Tuesday. It says Putin foreign policy aide Yuri Zheklo, if I pronounce his name right, told a state report that Trump's remarks suggest that he is not well briefed on the reality of the war. Trump is not sufficiently informed about what is really happening in the context of the Ukraine war confrontation. Yerkoisov said. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said it was clear that the Trump administration is making considerable efforts towards a peaceful settlement, and that Russia was grateful for the mediation efforts of the President Trump personally. Just like the United States, Russia has its own national interests, and which are above for us all, and they are above all for presidents, Peskov said. After speaking with Trump on May the 19th, Putin said he had agreed to work with Ukraine on the memorandum, which set out the contours of a peace, including the timeline of a ceasefire. Peskov said Russia was preparing for the next round of negotiations with Ukraine and to continue contracts with the United States. It says, but the United States Department spokesperson Tammy Bruce said that Trump was losing patience with Russia. His patience was warned then, Bruce said in an interview with Fox News. Trump, who has known Putin for some time, feeling that something has happened to him and he's unable to explain it, and is clearly quite frustrated enough to express that outrage in public. It says a war heating up with Trump and the Kremlin trading drums. The war intensifies. Yep, this is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which they shall not regard as silver, and as for gold, shall not light in it. Right, so we're seeing so we're going to see the Medes, which the Russians, the Heavenly Father, going to stir up against Babylon. And that's what we're seeing as the tension between Russia and Ukraine heating up, and Russia and the United States that's heating up as well too. Because I believe there was a news article that came out as well too. I think I'm going to get to that as well too. See if I can be able to go to it. Yep, and this is a news article from Yahoo News. It says Russia and America and World War III clashes in the files, and Putin defies Trump and amassed 50,000 troops on the border with Ukraine. It says America and Russia clash with World War III public now as Vladimir Putin and against the files. Donald Trump's and amassed 50,000 troops at Ukraine border. The military build-up close to the northern semi-regional sparked fears that Russian president is set for a launch summer offense despite Trump's efforts to get a ceasefire after days of heavy airstrikes in Ukraine cities. It says U.S. President warned Putin that he's playing with fire, though he has yet moved with the threats and increasing sanctions of Russia. I think it was another news article. I think this is it right here. Yep, it says this is from the Wall Street Journal. It says the U.S. reinforces Europe's northern front, fearing war with Russia. It says in the quest to make NATO more lethal, the Pentagon turns to higher north and ballistics. This is from Gotland, Sweden. It says at the crack of dawn, dozens of U.S. Marines recently took position in a field on the sleepy Swedish island about 200 miles from the Russian city of Kaliningrad and fired their mobile rocket systems. The dummy motion splashed into the ballistic sea, yet they sent a message to Russia, even as Trump has thrown NATO into a historical crisis. Yep, Isaiah 13, verse 17. It says, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which they shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not light in it. So definitely the tensions are heating up between Russia and the United States, Russia versus NATO, Russia versus EU. We're seeing the United States deploying more reinforcements over there, the northern flank, over there in Eastern Europe, as we're seeing more military build-up from NATO over there in the area of the ongoing tension between with Russia. Because NATO has soldiers stationed over there in the northern flank and the eastern flank, not too far from the Russian borders, where they have their troops stationed as well too. So definitely this is a future prophecy about to come past, be fulfilled. So with that, hopefully this sit down lesson was edifying, as we've been seeing the rise in tensions are heating up between Russia and Ukraine, and Russia and the United States as well too. As it says again, May the 28th, 2025, from Reuters, as of updated 3 days ago, published by Guy Falkenberg and Max Hunder from the Reuters.com. May the 28th, 2025 at 8:30 a.m. as updated 3 hours ago. It reads again, it says U.S. and Russia clash in public as war heats up. So with that, hopefully this sit down lesson was edifying. With that, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Akakadash, and the Heavenly Father. True name is Yahweh, and His unbegotten Son Ba'Hashem, the name of Mashiach Kabashai. Those are their true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew. Those are the true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the last one tongue. And I say Barakatham to the elders and apostles of Akim Aqua. Until next time, I would say Shalom.